All right, let's hop into Mike's buy low and sell highs. Let's start off with the buy lows.
Oh, we're gonna go buy low this time. Okay, so last week I had a lot of names. This week I'm gonna try to condense it, make it a little bit quicker. I have three of each. My first guy's Marlon Mack. Now I've seen him in a lot of trades in a bunch of my leagues. Now he has been doing good. He actually scored 2 out of the 3 weeks. He had over 170 yards in week one. And I just think that he's a type of player that he hasn't really broken out into the fantasy mainstream yet. You know, he's someone that a lot of people don't really know. He's not a household name. I think you can still get him for a relatively cheap price. He has a great matchup this week against Oakland and then another plus matchup against KC. So get him now while you can. Also, they're the second most rushing attempts behind the Ravens. So I think the Colts are really committed to the run this year. Also, if Hilton is out for any long period of time due to his injury, I think that, they're definitely just going to go run heavy. So Marlon Mack, target him. The next guy
Yeah,
we just talked about.
definitely I can vouch that he's not the big name. He doesn't have the
Yeah,
sexy name. So
right.
that's one thing I can see why you'd have him as a buy low.
Yeah, I mean, people aren't like, oh, Marlon Mack, like he's really good. Like people just don't say that, or that doesn't come to mind when you think of like the top running backs in fantasy. The second guy on here is someone we just talked about in the last segment, Robert Woods. Now, coming into the season, everyone thought he was going to be, like you would say, the number one receiver. But actually, through 3 weeks, it's been Cooper Kupp, who surprisingly has came off a ACL injury, but he has just been a stud this season so far. Woods has been actually the odd man out, but I think this is the week against a terrible Bucks secondary where he breaks out. I think Sean McVay knows that in order for the Rams to be at their best offensively, he has to spread the ball around and all his receivers have to eat and be a threat. So I think Woods is a good buy low candidate after the last 2 weeks. He hasn't been doing that good. This guy, Hollywood Brown. Now, I mean, he had a great week one with 2 touchdowns. He hasn't scored since. Last week, he was kind of a dud in what was supposed to be a big shootout with the Chiefs. I watched that game. I think we all did. We saw that there were some big plays that he could have had, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. It didn't connect. So if people are down on him right now, I know that some people have him on their benches or flex that you can get this guy, but I think the sky is the limit for Hollywood Brown. He could be the next Tyreek Hill, in my opinion, in that offense with how they're going, with Lamar Jackson's emergence. Now, for my sell high
I guess
candidates,
my only concern with Hollywood is injury.
yeah,
Actually, so if he stays healthy, I do see him balling out.
yeah. I mean, don't you agree? Like he has like a Tyreek Hill type upside
Yeah, oh
as a
yeah,
playmaker.
man, he is really good. It's super tough to defend that Ravens offense. And so a lot of things can happen. And Hollywood Brown's the one with the upside as far as the receivers go there. And then, of course you got Mark Andrews.
Oh yeah, Mark Andrews. I have in 2 leagues. Great. A lot of people are trying to trade for him. I'm just gonna say, don't bite on it, guys. Hold on to him. He's very valuable. He will be for the rest of the season an elite tight end. So just don't sell him for cheap if that's what you're thinking of. So on to my sell high list from the Mile High City, Phillip Lindsay, who's coming off his best game of the season against Green Bay. He had 2 touchdowns, but this is just a backfield situation that I just want no part of anymore. Like I don't want Royce Freeman on my team, and I don't want Philip Lindsay. I
God,
just,
I had to rank
I
Joe
just don't want
Flacco as a number 30 quarterback this week. Like that's what this team
him.
has. That's below Josh Rosen, and there's only 30 teams playing this week.
Right.
Yeah, it was like him or Taysom. Like it's that bad.
Oh
Like this is the
God,
type of
that's bad.
offense he's on.
When do you think Drew Lock gonna come play
He's on my
anytime?
IR. I think he's out for 8+ weeks.
Oh, he has to be out like the legit IR for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
Oh,
something
that's
he some kind of wrist or something injury that had him out for like 2-3 months. I'm not sure, but I have him on my dynasty IR, and he has an I next to his name, and so it's
well, that's not
looking
good.
like he's
So
gonna be out several weeks. Yeah, And that's not
Okay.
it's not like that means he hasn't been throwing and stuff. So it's not like he's gonna come in and
Right.
it's gonna be great right away. But yeah, I think we're done throwing up looking at Flacco, and at least we'd like to throw up with Drew Lock, see what he's got. But
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, bro. That's a team that wants to
That's the
draft
guy.
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh man, Elway would be so lucky if that's what happened. But back to Lindsay, just to let you guys know, the reason why you should sell high on him is because the next 3 weeks he plays Jacksonville this week. He plays the Chargers in week 5, Tennessee. So 3 tough matchups before he gets a good matchup in week 7 against Kansas City. So if you can sell high on him, do it now because you can definitely get something good in return. The next guy here is someone I recently traded for Saquon Barkley. I don't know how that's going to work out, but T.Y. Hilton, he hurt his hammy last week after a solid performance against Atlanta.
A
He
quad
hasn't practiced.
injury, which is
Quad injury,
almost the
sorry.
same.
Yeah, it's bad for a receiver. But
That's
he's they say
bad.
he's a gamer, which means like he doesn't need to practice to play. But I just don't think that they're gonna rush him back against the Raiders. Like they don't
No,
really
that's
need him to beat the
stupid.
Raiders.
He should not play this week. It's the dumbest thing ever. He should at least
They're
take one
definitely
game off.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna need him week 5 against the Chiefs. But then there's a bye week, week 6. So it's someone that you can't really rely on the next 3 weeks. So that's why I figure, you know what? Let me take a shot at Saquon. Luckily, I got Gallman off waivers this week, so it
Incredible
kind of
move, yeah.
incredible. So it actually paid off. So yeah, if you could sell high on T.Y. Hilton, he's had a great first 3 weeks. Now is the time. See what you can get. You never know. Lastly, another guy that we talked about in the last segment, Sterling Shepard, coming off a huge game against a terrible Bucs secondary. He went over 100 yards. He got a TD. This week he has another A-plus matchup like we discussed against Washington. But in week 5, Golden Tate comes back. He has a week 6 matchup against the Patriots secondary. So those are 2 tough matchups. So I don't know. I just think this is a good time to capitalize while his stock is probably at its highest and, make a
What
move.
are you crazy? Sterling Shepard, number 1 receiver on the Giants. They drafted this guy in a couple
Tate,
leagues.
what about Tate? When Tate comes back, you don't think he's
I,
going to be good? He's going to be good
what
too.
happens when wide receivers are on 3 teams in 1 year usually? They usually suck.
Ooh.
Look, Golden Tate can help Shepard. Look, man, I drafted Sterling Shepard, and it was like, whatever. I finally am thrilled to have this guy on my squad with Daniel Jones. There's some hope with him. I would not sell high on him. I don't know what you're going to get. See, look, with T.Y. Hilton, it might take a little bit, some guy with not too much intelligence to fall for that. But they're out there. You can get that off. And he's been drafted in the top 3 rounds, so he's kind of got that little bit of a name. Now with Sterling Shepard, no one likes him. He doesn't have that name. I just don't see, someone you drafted in round 7 without a name, people going crazy for him. I just don't see. I don't think you'll get much for him. I'd rather keep him. He's going to get a ton of targets. Now he's got Danny Dimes. I'd keep him.
Well, there you go. Keep him or trade him. That is your prerogative.
I agree with all of Mike's names, but I crossed out Sterling Shepard. Everyone I put a strike through over it. Oh, you can see it too, yeah. I forgot you can see the notes as well.
So you're starting it with confidence weeks 5 and 6 against Minnesota. And
I've only looked at week 4.
All right,
Yeah,
that's what I
it's
thought.
tough, but it doesn't. You don't have to start him every week.
Well, I'm just saying this is his high. Like this past week, and probably after this next game is his highest value. So, that's do what you will with that information.
Yeah, I see your point. I see what you mean.